Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 131 of Shadow and Flame with Magic, the podcast. And today we're going to review X-Men Blood Hunt Magic Issue 1, written by Ashley Allen. Artist is Jesus Hervas. Color artist Yen Nitro. Letterer VC's Travis Lantham. So let's get to it. Born with abilities beyond those of normal humans, the mutants superheroes known as the X-Men use their unique powers to protect a world now under threat by a vampire invasion. A group of vampires known as the Structure engineered a simultaneous attack across the globe using dark force energy to blot out the sun. Now vampires have been unleashed upon humanity and mutant kind alike, causing violent chaos. And just to get this out of the way, I love this issue. I was gonna have a rule about because I on Twitter, which you can follow me on Jackal SII. You can. I've been doing a weekly best of X titles of the year, and I was having a little rule about you have to have Lockheed to be in the upper list, but this issue is so great that I had to make it my second favorite issue of the year. Um, thus far. But X-Men 32 is up right now. Not up, but is my number one, and um, I mean, I still love it. So this didn't come close to beating it, but I was like, it's definitely better than X-Men Volume 6, Issue 35, the end of the Krakoan era. And and if you want some quick thoughts on my opinion on X-Men 32, I just launched my first TikTok video. You can find me on at Jacko SII. And then the same videos over at YouTube also under Jacko SII. So, um, I don't know. I'm hoping to hopefully do that weekly. Just do a quick, minute long videos. But appreciate the people who are following me now. And then I was trying to follow some other people, and I'm just trying out, a new format. Okay, issue opens up. Serbia, then. Back when I was easily enamored by childish things and childish fears, my father would tell me stories of the Boterars. Of these warrior knights, Aya Mormons was my favorite. After all, we almost shared the same name. So this is Ilyana narrating. A sickly Ilya was confined to bed for 33 years. However, one day he was visited by two strangers. You must keep going, Ilya, they urged. Get up, for you are completely cured. And with that, he was miraculously healed, gifted with super strength. With his life renewed, with his new start, he dedicated himself to fighting the monsters threatening the land. Ilya became a hero who could banish darkness with the strength to promise everything would be okay. My father would then close the book and tell me, be brave, Ilyana. You must keep going. Serbia now. I should say that of the Blood Hunt, I've been reading the main series, and just not that impressed with it. The Jubilee series one shot was pretty nice. I sampled the Wolverine one, and so I don't know. I mean, I like vampires, but this I don't know. This has been the best thing about Blood Hunt, which is what I figured it was going to be. And then we're getting Psylocke next week, so excited about seeing how good that one is. And I do wish this creative team would just be given a Magic ongoing series, especially as they're just giving ongoing series to everyone. Like Mystique just got one. I mean, heck, Sentinels are now getting them. So I think we can, give Magic her ongoing finally. And then we see these two kids are just running away. It's a brother-sister combination. And then vampires are taking them captive. And we see Ileana just wearing jeans and a big brown sweater, and she just casually walks up to him. Am I interrupting something? And they're just haunting at her. Oh no, whatever will I do? And then she puts up a decent fight. How about this? I'll be nice. I'll give you one last try. And then one of the vampires uppercuts her, breaking, or maybe not breaking her nose, but it's definitely nosebleed levels. And she's taking capture. And right now I'm like, oh, I don't know about this Ashley Allen. Magic is a lot better than this. And then and so they're all in a cage as they're slowly coming back. It's nice to meet you, Anya. My name's Ilyana. Are you really sure you're okay? Barely a scratch. The real question is, are you okay? It's a horrible Russian accent. No, how is any of this fine? Our village has been overrun with vampires. Our parents barely gave us time to escape, and they destroyed our home. They're hunting us for sport. And he just starts crying. I know you have to explain. I was visiting my hometown to clear my head when this all started. But even before that, I watched my last home be destroyed, my family scattered. See recent issues of the X-Men, DS. So I promise I won't let yours be. I'll make sure. And then someone else is running away, and this vampire just like devours them. The sister recognizes them from the village, and now they're inside. And he's like, "Stay behind me." And we just see villagers getting decimated, and then we see the big bad of the issue, and it turns out the big bad is the hero from Ilyana's storybook. It's Ilya himself, Ilya, and he's talking about how he wants because the sun's been plotted out um thanks to Blade, and I've already forgot the name of the characters from up in the recap, but he's now like, well, we don't have to hunt in private now. We can be glorious in our hunting. And so, um, that's what everyone's gathering for. And Eliana's like, how kind of you, once he explains his whole motivations. Yaya, right? Sounds familiar. Any relation to Murmur-Mets? It has always pleased me to meet an acolyte. The story had some falsehoods, but I didn't see much of a reason to correct it. And he towers over her, like Kalash is tall, but maybe a little taller. And then he grabs her by her face and throws her. And then I was gonna say they escape, but they're willingly released so the vampires can come out, hunt them down. You know, and it's like, you don't stop, you keep running and hide. And then we get this glorious splash page of Ileana in her black and gold uniform with the shoulder armor. Funny, I could say the same to you. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ileana Rasputin. I'm so used to saying Rasputina, but Rasputin. And I was forged in the fires of a hell far worse than here. But to you monsters, you may call me Magik. And it's in that awesome magic font. So that's like, oh, I miss when comic book characters used to say their names in comic book fonts. What a poor decision to cross my path, for my hunt has finally begun, and you are first on my list. Still awesome. And so she's taking vampires down. Don't worry, I'll at least try to give you vampires a fighting chance. Don't too afraid to face me? How pathetic. I didn't manifest my soul sword just for show. And we just get shown like so Ileana allowed herself to get taken captive so that she can find out who all these vampire the head of the vampires are, and it's like, oh yeah, I should have trusted this writer. You know, I heard of rumors of this village, but I couldn't pinpoint the exact location until you were nice enough to capture me, just like now. Both times were a mistake. You should never have let me in. And the panel just has her all grins as she's just loving slaying all these vampires. And it's like, oh man, I wouldn't mind Magic the Vampire Hunter or Magic the Supernatural Hunter. And you call yourselves monster. And you see the kids are a little nervous about her. Know that just because my sword cuts through magic does not mean I lack my own. And then she casts a spell that burns the vampires. Stay hidden. Don't move until I come back. Ilya's Ilya's stronghold, and they're just bragging about um, how glorious it is to hunt in the open. A limbo portal opens. Ilyana comes through and just like slays the talking vampire. Correction: what good are you vampires for if not to hunt? But that is will much of its pursuit. After all, this lowly human's X-gene allows her to teleport to wherever you may run. And she just is so happy. Your turn, Ilya. So, You did return. What a pleasant surprise. But I can keep up, little human. Your lackeys thought so. And he flips the table she's standing on by putting her a little off balance. Which is one of those things where, like, Ileana can just open a portal and just slay whoever's in front of her. But, makes her perfect for done one and done issues, though. And also, she can be caught off guard. Like, she's not invincible. Like, no great characters are. And she swears, "Why are you so fast? Speed is but one of my vampire gifts. Your death will be swift." Oh, get over yourself. Brilliant. That's the closest anyone comes in years, as like her swole sword almost nicks his throat. Finally, a worthy kill. With time, child, you might actually have been able to. And she just like slays him. What were you saying? I needed time? Good thing we have plenty. I'm going to enjoy taking you apart slowly. What a pathetic excuse for a king. You could never have lasted a day ruling limbo as he is running away. I sat in a bubber cage for 2 hours just for you to run away? Fine, let's see who's really faster. My pork toes are static, but that does not mean I have to be. Gravity is my friend, despite how it tears at my body. Getting closer and closer, accelerating toward my prey. And slash! And then he's definitely slayed now. Slain? Yeah. Until I hit my mark with the force of a supernova. Ah, too slow. Please tell me this isn't a situation where by killing your leader I am now the de facto queen. And all the vampires are staring at her. Nothing? Really? Why does no one ever get my jokes? And it's like, oh, Ileana, hard to relate. Though I do appreciate everyone who does get my jokes. But still, yeah, sometimes, some fall. But you make as many. And they're all going to be winners. Fine, let's get this over with. Run, little vampires. Don't waste your head start. Three, two, one. In my darkest hours in limbo, I would go back to my father's words, the storybook we shared. In my mind, Yaya would become Ileana, and I would think of my future. With her life renewed, with her new start, she would dedicate herself to fighting the monsters threatening the land. Even those around her thought she was one. And then she finds the kids. There you are. She would become the hero who would banish darkness with the strength to promise. Everything's okay. She would keep going. She would defeat the evils that seem insurmountable. She would rise above and reunite with her family. She would smile at them finally and triumphantly be able to say, "Let's go home." The end. And this was the Blood Hunt checklist. Trying to find. Oh, yeah. So this would have been after Blood Hunt 4 and Blood Hunt Red Band 4. Wolverine Blood Hunt 2 ends the June events, and then July has a slew of titles that I don't think I'm interested in that many besides Psylocke, Miles Morales, who's now a vampire himself. Um, Avengers 16, just because 17 has Storm coming in. Wolverine Blood Hunt 3, Blood Hunters 4. Oh yeah, X-Men Blood Hunt Laura Kinney the Wolverine. Clunky title. Like either you gotta retire Logan or officially make her the Wolverine that's in all the titles, but it's awkward to do when you have Deadpool coming out. Which we're planning on watching Deadpool on July 26th, the first morning showing of Friday, so still got a week's worth of spoilers to try to wade through. Pun intended. Or pun coincidentally walked into. Would have been stronger if I said pun intended. And then we do get next, Blood Hunt Psylocke. After serving on the front lines in the war against Orcus, Kawan is enjoying some much-deserved downtime for new lover Craycrow. When did Darkness, which I know some people are wanting to call them Psycrow, but Jonathan Loves X-Men, a great Twitter account, was trying to get Quan as their couple name, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's sort of like that. But when darkness falls across Japan, Psylocke will wield her psionic blade against blood-sucking creatures of legend and face a foe unlike any she's ever scene. An all-new villain emerges in the mayhem of Blood Hunt. And so yeah, everyone, that is X-Men Blood Hunt Magic 1. I love it. I think the creative team did an amazing job. Ashley Allen got Ileana's voice like perfect. Um, Jesus Suarez did a stunning job. Anya Nitro really gave the comic a brooding atmosphere. Uh, and Travis Lantham, of course, lettering legend, who makes his comics easy to read. So let's see what else came out. So Giant Size Little Marvels came out, which was a little cute. Very little X-Men content though. Wolverine 2 with Erico, and I didn't read it. Um, because it takes a lot more than just um, you know, Erico to get me to read a book. Oh yeah, Wolverine Matterport Nights 5 concluded, not the series I don't think anyone expected from Uncanny X-Men. Is it 268 with Captain America and Black Widow? And a great novel called Conan Wolverine that I adore. X-Men 97, awkwardly still moving on, trying to bridge the 92 show to 97 cartoon. Oh yeah, and Heir of Apocalypse 2, where Armageddon Girl, uh, Monet, and Exodus all died, which I'm like, they're not killing off these characters this early in the relaunch, but Danny got some cool moments, or at least panel time. And I don't know, I'm just not connecting with it, and it just stinks how much we had to wait until September for Exceptional X-Men 1 to come out, and we're not. And Comic Book Creators Legacy did mention how they have a theory how Heir of Apocalypse is supposed to be launching most of these titles, so maybe like the side titles like X Factor. And I'm like, well, maybe because that will explain why Uncanny X-Men and X-Men aren't out yet. So let's see what comes out next week or this week. I'm recording this on Saturday for once. I'm got a little time in the middle of the day. Usually I record at like midnight on Sunday, which is one of the reasons why there wasn't an episode last week. Um, as everyone was staying up, and which is, love seeing my family. So I'm like, yeah, you guys stay awake. But also I'm like, well, when do I record? And so you find other times to do it. Okay, so comics on sale July 3rd. There's something called Alliteration 2099. Um, Deadpool 4. Oh yeah, July. I gotta start doing my Deadpool comics I've pulled. The 80s Secret Wars 7 reprints coming out. That one does not feature Lockheed. Spider-Man Reign 2, part of more Spider-Man gunk. Oh yeah, The Life of Wolverine 1, which is supposed to be an all-encompassing Wolverine series, so ideally Kate Pryde would be in there. Wolverine Deep Cut 1, and then X-Men Blood Hunt Psylocke. So this might be the perfect week to kick off Deadpool month. Um, and then I'll probably just tack on one of these if Kate shows up in any of these. Kate Magic or Lockheed, of course. So that's the episode. Thank you everyone for listening. Let's see, I believe you can follow the podcast's social media at SNFWM on both Twitter and Instagram. And then Jackal's I at TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. And of course, I'm filming this a day before, but tomorrow is June 30th, and which I should just release this episode tonight. Um, is going to be the 11th anniversary of Shadow and Flame of Magic, the podcast. My lovely wife was in San Francisco visiting some friends, and I was like, getting a little lonely, and was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start making a blog. And now I just call it a website, but I still sometimes catch myself calling it a blog where I'm like, no one says blog anymore. So, anyways, that was episode 130 of Shadow and Playing with Magic, the podcast. And thank you everyone for listening. If you ask a friend to listen and subscribe, we appreciate it as we try to get the podcast to more people. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. Bye.